Let me know if you guys can hear me. We got two in here. Just doing my normal little pop up. Y'all know how I do my little pop ups every now and again. Give me a little heart over there on the little sideline if you can hear me. Okay, let's see. Tammy 707. What's going on? Let's see if you guys can hear me. Cash flow is speaking. Hey, what's up, Tammy 707? Greetings, growing out the box, John says. Everybody says yes, they can hear me. Good, good. Man, we finally got some rain today. And did we get some rain? And it's amazing what just a little bit of rain can do for the garden. I mean, it just greens this thing up. I've been struggling to get it watered every single day, coming out in the mornings, coming out in the evenings. But just 1, 2 days of that holy water, boy, I tell you, it turns the whole thing on. But I just wanted to kind of drop in, man, because we've been trying to get those strawberries like we want. And for the past 2 years, you guys saw me growing the California giant strawberries. Last year, they didn't do anything, so I was getting ready to pull them, but they showed up this year. Now they're June bearing, so it's gonna be maybe between now and July that we're gonna get the most on it. Probably gonna be getting some rain in real quick because it's been raining on and off today, so I'm gonna be in and out. But I just wanted to share this with you guys, and also just show you what the garden is doing on a landscape type thing. Um, I mean, it's really starting to come together. I have yet to put all the stuff in, but I'm gonna just give you a little pan of what's going on with the garden right now. This is what the garden is looking like right now. Let's see if I can get this little piece out the way. There we go. This is what she's looking like right now. Just a little rain, man. Just a little rain turns everything on. So we're gonna walk you around here and just let you see what's really happening over here. You know, we got Nebraska's, the Heshiko onions. That's always gonna be a staple in the garden. Excuse me. Um, got the eggplants. I mean, they just lighten it up right now. The eggplants, along with the African marigolds, landing on the bottom there. Got some peppers down here coming in. I mean, it's just that little bit of rainwater, man, just makes the world of a difference. So I'm really feeling good today on this Sunday, just seeing everything come to life. Got my string beans coming up over here. The fava beans are coming out, so I'm gonna go ahead and make me an FPJ with the fava beans because they hate this warm temperature. But you can see the string beans coming up on the bottom down there. And there's my guy Marcelo, man in the garden, keeping everything under control. So, I mean, just in the past few weeks, I've been really putting in a lot of work trying to get the garden up and going. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. And I've yet to put half of what I'm going to be growing out here. I still got some empty beds, but it's really coming out pretty good. I think it's coming out pretty good. I really need to be out here harvesting a few things. Got my white eggplant starting to come in. You can see she's already dropping down there. White eggplants. Got the yarrow right there. Some bok choy showing out right there. Got some banana peppers. Yeah, my little babies put off fast. These little babies putting off these big banana peppers already. So when I take that banana pepper off, she's gonna take off. Here's something strange that's happening this year that normally doesn't happen. I'm getting female flowers on my acorn squash before the male flowers. That's not something that normally happens. See right there, right there. Got a female flower starting to come in already before any other flowers on there. That's a rarity. And getting my Armenian cucumbers put in today. I dropped two of them down there. That may be too congested for this little area there. I'm also going to have my Rosa Bianca eggplants right here. Got some tomatoes already coming off. We've been getting tomatoes off. These are Marglobes here. So, Mike's Chaotic Gardening. What's going on? Got some more purple eggplants, or um, got some Ichiban eggplants right here. Another purple eggplant, Black Beauty. Some more tomatoes need to come off. I take mine off when they start blushing. I don't let them stay out here in the garden for anything to happen to them. So I get those pretty, get those real pretty tomatoes. Again, got the collards going. Got some more string beans over here. These are jade beans right here coming up with the Hashiko onions. Got the jade beans right there. And my black pearl peppers. They're just going wild over here in this Vigo garden bed. I'm gonna have to thin those out. So I'll probably have close to 30 or 40 of the black pearl peppers in that Vigo garden bed there. The onions are gonna be coming out. So we're gonna have, I'm sorry, the garlic, that's the elephant garlic, that's gonna be coming out. And I think I'm gonna be putting some okra over here. Okra, I'm not sure. I got some Jamaica sorrel that I need to figure out where I'm gonna put it at as well. Got my butterfly peas are coming up here. So we're gonna let the butterfly, I'm only gonna do 4 on each side. We're gonna let the butterfly peas drape over this whole thing here. And then I got some wax beans planted here. The wax beans will come up. It's gonna be 10 on this side, 10 on the other side. Got some more banana peppers right here. Actually, these are Hungarian wax peppers, I'm sorry. Hungarian wax peppers there. They're already dropping. Got some Mad Hatters there. Already dropping. This one I think I'm going to have to move because she's getting shadowed out. The fig tree came back after that cold came and knocked it down. But she's putting on some babies. Let's see if we can find one or two. So this is her 4th year and she's already about 10 feet tall. It's brown turkey fig, I'm sorry. Out here, you can see we've been working. We got our sweet potatoes in. There's 5 in that little planter. 5 over here in this planter. Those are sweet potatoes. It's a black mission fig there. Let's see here. But we're talking about these strawberries, right? So that's what y'all came in here to see, I would imagine. So let me turn this back around. Just yell at the chat real quick. What's up, the Educated Naturals in here? G Mama Grows. Let me see here. Get down here and holler at you guys real quick. Yeah, it's just been like I said, it's been a rainy day, but it's one of those days where I am so thankful for the rain. I mean, I had to come out here when I saw how nice everything was greening up. It just straight took me off by surprise. JX Farms, what's going on, my brother? Bougie Prepper, what's going on, Bougie? Thanks for the messages today. Mike's Chaotic Gardening, what's going on? Let's see who's in here. GWA, Growing with Hudson, what's going on? What's going on? So again, I'm just man, I'm really feeling good. Just seeing the garden come to life. That's all. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm gonna tell you, we're getting a little drizzle, so we probably ain't gonna be out here that long. Look at this little bitty thing here putting off this already. That's good soil. That's what I say. Good soil. Can't do that without good soil. So everybody who's telling me your plant's too small to put off fruit like that, and you can't grow grocery store fruit, tell me that don't look good. Nice, good sheen on there. I got so many pop-up volunteer tomatoes here. I'm gonna have to take some of those out because they're gonna start pulling nutrients from the soil. But got some more peppers on this side here. They're just now starting to come in. And this here is I think this is a pear tomato, a yellow pear tomato. And then of course I got my lemon thyme as ground cover over here. It's beautiful. Smells good too. Got the tomatillos. Gotta have two of those. They already putting off, and look at what's hiding down there. I need to be out here harvesting. That's not a cucumber, that's a pepper on that little bitty plant. Look at that. That's crazy. Let's see what else. I have to be looking out here, man, because like I said, so much is happening out here so fast, and I haven't even gotten half of the stuff in. I'm trying something a little different this year. I got a black pepper plant here, a black pepper vine. I got this, ordered this offline. This wasn't grown from seed, so I don't know how this gonna turn out. She's looking kind of rough right now, but I think she's gonna be okay. Got some echinacea there coming in. It's a black pepper vine that should grow up to about 6 or 7 feet tall. So I'm gonna let it grow up this here little trellis here. Got a marglobe, another one of the marglobe uh, determinants. This here is another project. Got to fill this in. I got a whole lot of stuff going on. You guys gonna be really surprised at what I got going on this year. Another black pepper plant, a black pepper vine. It's gonna be growing up this one. Another empty bed there, hexagon, marglobe. Look at that beautiful purpurea. Yes, sir. Loving it, loving it. That's gonna look pretty nice as it all comes in. Got my plum trees out there on the back. That's a methley. That's a dwarf Santa Rosa. That's an Italian plum, or prune plum as they call it. That's a Shiro. That's the green gauge down there. Look at that. The bees are working overtime. It's my, what is this right here? I forget the name of this thing here. It'll come to me in a minute. But she's got fruit all over. Citrus. That's a ponderosa. That's right. Look at that. This thing's loaded down with fruit. I mean, it's just all over it. She is super loaded down and still trying to push out. This one is, man, I'm forgetting the name of my citrus, but look how beautiful those colors are. And I just brought these out from the garage about 2 weeks ago. They're putting on that beautiful growth. Ponderosa here. This is another ponderosa. Um, this is a eureka, that's right. This one here is a eureka. But this is what we came out here for. Got another tomato plant there. Need to take that off. Look at these things here. Now y'all know I'm gonna give G Mama credit. I've got to give G Mama the credit because G Mama put me up on these. She said paint some rocks. Her and Mike's Chaotic Garden. I got to give both of them credit. They the best moderators in the universe. But these fake strawberries are doing the job. I'm telling you, I didn't even think that was gonna work. I'm gonna be honest. But those fake strawberries are doing the job, and it's allowing me to get these babies here off. These are sequoias. But as I was doing my research and trying to grow those big strawberries like they do in the grocery stores, These y'all remember about a year ago, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, I showed these California giant strawberries. And then I said I was going to be growing these California giant strawberries. I had the plugs and I put them in and they didn't do anything last year. And let me just show you what the California giants look like. I got these from, I forget what store I got them from, but these are California giants. Now, when I first started seeing these things, I was saying to myself, ain't nowhere in the world these things can be grown organically. These things just it don't even make sense that they're that big. So I started doing a little research and look at what we got right here. That's ridiculous. Look at this thing. This is huge, the size of a plum. This is what I wanted to share with you guys today. The size of a plum. These things are huge. These are what sequoias. And last year they did it out on me. I mean, they did absolutely nothing last year. And this year, they coming in with a vengeance. I mean, all of them are huge. These are sequoias here. Come around to this side here. I didn't replace all of them because I still got some Ozarks mixed in with it. But these sequoias, man, I'm about to evict every other strawberry plant I got out here. She's finna take over. Look at these things. The size of plums. And you already know I tested the bricks on them. And the bricks on them hitting at that 12.5 to a 13. 12.5 to a 13. And I can leave them out on the ledge. This is when the plan comes together, right? I can leave them out on the ledge and the birds aren't even bothering them. Why? Because we've been training them with these fake strawberries. I gotta give G Mama and Mike's Chaotic Gardening credit for even making me even think about this, because I thought that was the craziest thing in the world, that ain't no way in the world you're gonna be able to put some fake strawberries out here and the fake strawberries gonna deter the birds. But actually they don't deter the birds, they train them. Again, sit the strawberries out on the ledge and let them ripen, let them get into that sun, and that's where that sweetness comes from. But again, I want to thank Mike's Chaotic Gardening, and he's in this chat right now. If y'all are not following Mike's Chaotic Gardening, or if you're not following G Mama, if you're growing inside, they are the ones that you want to be doing it with. They got it down, that inside growing. And that's what I do is I pack those strawberries there. Those are the fake ones there. I pack them in certain little areas of the bed, and I move them around every other day. But this is what happens when the birds come through. Look at these things. Massive, massive. So all of these are not, like I say, some of them are Ozark. You see how that's pointed right there? I think that's a, what they call a Rutger, I think, a Rutger. And you can tell by the pointed tip on that. That's not one of the sequoias. But I mean, they're all just crazy, the size of these things. I'm just really impressed with it. I got some of, oh man, look at these blackberries. The blackberries are showing out as well. I mean, my goodness. This is what those FPJs, that fermented plant juices, this is what the fish hydrolysis, all of those things that I'm putting on this soil out here is produced. I mean, it's just pushing out. Look at the massive size of these berries. These are blackberries here. This is just crazy. This thing is loaded down. I got to come back out and set this back up because I like to have it to where I can walk up under it. I mean, I don't know if you guys was in the live the other night, but about a week ago, this plant, this is a dark opal basil. This thing was half the size. This thing, this one here, that's a black cherry tomato. That's my black cherry tomato. And let me show you how big it was last week. That black cherry tomato was that size last week. We got some Vapes kale there. I cleaned out my peanut bed, got it all organized now. Put some, what did I add down here? Some gypsum. If you're growing peanuts, legumes, they love that gypsum, that calcium in that gypsum. That makes those babies stand up. So I got all those organized. And the peanuts that I am taking in, I'm going to be using those and making me an FPJ with it. I don't know if you, like I said, if you were out here last week, this thing was half the size. This is one I just put in maybe a week ago. This is an Everest grapevine there, some more African marigolds. They're just taking off. Everything is just taking off. Even the comfrey. This is my comfrey bed here, back in 14. How beautiful those are. Nothing out the big box store. Everything we growing right here in the garden and feeding it back to the garden. That's our comfrey. That's going to have our potassium in it, and that's going to have some nitrogen. But when you really want to boost that garden up, take the tips off of these babies here. This is our alfalfa. You got alfalfa, which has a compound in it called triacontanol, and that's a root stimulator for all seeds. That thing will make plants jump, and you can see how that's coming in real nice. That's my alfalfa bed. We got some more beans coming up here, along with carrot. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a carrot flower, but these are the most gorgeous flower. It looks kind of like the what's the flower that I'm looking for? It's just a beautiful white flower that sits out right there. Got those beautiful purple flowers for my onions. And this one is not a elephant garlic. This is not one of the Peshiko onions. This is, I want to say a leek. Look how beautiful purple that is. The bees love that. There's some more carrots down there. Oh yeah, my little jewel over here. The blueberries in the, I'm gonna have to show you my blueberries in the pots. Y'all know we already just did that, but the blueberries in the pots are showing off. And we're gonna do an exclusive video on harvesting your blueberries in the pots. And a lot of people were asking questions on how do I fertilize with the blueberries in the pots. Some of these things are the size of nickels already. These are sweethearts on this end here, coming in at different times. You see that new growth on there? That's what you should be seeing on your blueberries this time of the season. As they're putting on those berries, they should start putting on some new growth as well. See all those light tips? And then you got the legacy here, who's just now starting to ripen. The Brightwell hasn't even begun to ripen. So this is how you have blueberries all season. You have to pick earlies, mids, and lates. And I'm really impressed with the sharp blue. Sharp blue has some really big berries on it. And look at what we got going on here in the squash cage. Yeah, we doing it this year. The squash cage is in effect. We ain't dealing with that vine borer this year. So we got some zucchinis already in there. Another zucchini. That's a straight neck squash there. And what I'm gonna have running down here I'm going to have my Georgia Candy Roaster, courtesy of Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Mike sent me some seeds about 3 years ago, and I've been growing that candy roaster ever since. So I'm going to let that candy roaster take up all that space right there. And Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, she sent me some mashed potato squash. And if you guys are not following Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, she comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is right after this. So I'm going to be getting off of here and let Miss Linda come on through. But she sent me some mashed potato squash, and I'm going to plant one right there and let that run up the sides of this. I'm going to put me a trellis in there. But this is my squash cage. Yes, sir. We're not dealing with the vine borer this year. We're not dealing with the vine borer this year. So just kind of give you another little pan of the garden, and then we're going to chop it up a little bit. We're not going to be in here very long. But again, if you guys hit the little like button, y'all tell me now to see the little things on the side there where you make the hearts pop up. Y'all hit that because that's what shares that live out. I'm gonna give you a little pan of the garden again, and then we're gonna come down to the chat. Everything is coming in really nice. Really happy with how everything's coming in. Yes, sir. So go back over here to these strawberries because that's what we came out here for. Because I'm about to harvest some of these things. I'm just so impressed, and I'm trying to do this. Hold on, I know what I can do. I can sit the camera down for a second. I'm gonna take one of these off here. Let's get a really good look at it. Now I'm gonna show you the palm of my hand. Look how big that thing is. Is she gorgeous? Now, this is the largest one that I've gotten off of here. And of course, you already know I'm already propagating this one. This is gonna be my baby right here because she's gotten the largest off of here. So you can see me already propagating. There will be no runners on this one. This baby here is gonna be making me some new bushes, or new plants rather, new vines. So we cracked the code. Yes, sir, we cracked the code. California Giant. If you guys want to grow California Giants, it's Sequoia. You see it? Don't those look just alike? This is a California Giant up top that you get out the grocery store. And this is my Sequoia. We cracked the code, baby. Yes, sir. Cracked the code. It took me a couple of tries to figure out which one it was and a couple of years to get it. But Sequoias, that's what these are. So if you want to grow strawberries the size of plums, it's the Sequoia. That's what we're growing here. Yes, sir. Let me take this other one off. And I get probably a bowl a morning off of these. And I'll come back after we get off the chat and get these. Look at these things. Isn't that a beautiful strawberry? Get to see every side of it. You know they're ripe when those shoulders are red and the tip has turned all the way red also. It's a Sequoia. Huge. Size of plums. And they are super sweet also. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna chop it up a little bit before we get out of here because I know Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, is gonna be coming up. And this Lover's Lane right here, in case you guys haven't been here before. This is what I call Lover's Lane. And it goes over to our little Chase Lounge here. Got all the berries. You know what the king does with the berries. Sit back and get fed. So this is Lover's Lane. And this is our heart shape here. It's a heart-shaped bed here. Come around and it's a heart. See that? It's why we call this Lover's Lane. My wife brought this home, and I just wanted to do something special for her to get her out in the garden a little more often with me. And I put this little area together. Our Chase Lounge. This is my new little chat spot. Love the way that sits up there. Got my little Tinkerbell lights. Yes, sir. So we're gonna turn this thing around and chat with you for a little bit, and then we're gonna make room for Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, to come in and take over after we get off, because she's on at 8 o'clock. So I would definitely be out of here by 8 o'clock. So now I'm gonna get this thing set so we can chop it up a little bit. All right. Oh, man, I love this little spot right here. So let's see, Broke Farmer is in here. What's up, Broke? Thank you for coming in. Let's see who else is in here. G Mama, from home to homestead. What's going on? I'm getting down to the bottom now because, like I said, I know I've been running my mouth a little bit. Let me see if I can let this down a little bit to keep me in frame. That's a little better. And you can see I'm in my work clothes today. And my get dirty. When you see me in this hat right here, that's my getting dirty hat. When them nails get dirty and all that. So I like getting out here and just getting it. Like I said, I got my cucumbers in today, my Armenian cucumbers. I up potted my Rosa Bianca eggplants. I'm going to give them a couple of days to acclimate because I had all of those growing in one big bunch. So I got probably about 20 of the Rosa Biancas, and we're probably going to be planting maybe 6 of them. We eat lots of lasagna eggplant, so that's something that we stack up every year. So get down here to the chat. See, Veggie Farming is in here. What's going on, Veggie Farm? Thanks for coming in. If you guys haven't checked out Veggie Farm, she has a very nice garden, I'm trying to tell you. Now, one thing that I am a little envious of, she got that watering system over there. And right now, it's taking me on average about 2 to 3 hours just to water my garden. And that's taking up too much time. So that is definitely going to be on the list for this year. Um, Putting me a automated watering system out here. And one thing I wanted to talk about also was I think we touched on it a little bit the last time, was the acetic acid, which was vitamin C powder, if you're growing organically. And that's something that I've been doing out here this year. And this is why the garden is responding in the fashion that it's responding to, because I'm taking that chlorine and chloramine out of my water. And it's allowing the microbes and the fungi in the soil to really do their work. So if you guys want to do it, like I said, check out some let's see, G Mama has Soy Diva. It's a variety of strawberries, not the strawberry. Let's see, G Mama. Let me get down here to the chat. I am Janet says my blueberries are doing great. That's what's up. I love to hear that. You know, when I shared that mix, that 50% peat moss, and it's like embedded in my brain now. 50% peat moss, 25% mini pine bark nuggets, and 25% compost. Quarter cup of that cottonseed meal. It is a system. If you take one part of it, it's not going to work the same. So I don't know how many times I can say that, because a lot of you guys have messaged me and say, well, I couldn't find this, I couldn't find that, and the pH is not holding. It's a whole system. If you do not have the entire system the way that I'm asking you to do, it's not going to be able to buffer that pH. And as you were seeing in the video that I released, I think it was yesterday that I dropped a video where I'm showing the blueberry bushes. My pH on my tap water is a 7.4, 7.4 to 8.5, depending on how the temperature is. and I can still water my blueberries with it, and it's going to still maintain that 4.5 to a 5.5. It is the mix, the entirety of the mix. It's not one thing in the mix, it's the entirety of the mix. It's designed that way. And if you do the percentages like I'm asking you to do, you're going to have an ease at growing your blueberries. I get so many messages on growingoutthebox.com with people saying that they've struggled growing with blueberries until they put it in this growing medium that I shared with them. And now they're getting blueberries like left and right off of their bushes. That's what this is all about. We're just sharing between the community. And the stories that you guys bring to me is what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me coming out here and trying new things like the FPJs. And I mean, we about to change the game on how the garden community receives, because we are able to do this right here in the confines of our own space. Some things that you're going to need to grow, some plants, that Bakken 14 comfrey that I just showed you, the alfalfa. You don't have to grow a lot of it, just dedicate you a little space for it. I have the Mexican sunflower. The and Veggie Farm has this also, the stinging nettle. Those four plants right there, you can eliminate the big box store. Literally, you can eliminate the big box store. It's some ferments that you can do with these plants that's going to make the nutrients and the I mean, it just turns the garden up every step of the way. Everything that you're seeing out here growing this time of the year, and we've been cool down here in Georgia Zone 8A. Had a couple of warm days, but for the most part, we've been cool in the morning. But that is just, like I said, everything around here is growing well because I'm not using the tap water as it is. I'm taking the chlorine and chloramine out of the tap water, and then I'm making my FPJs with that. If I'm doing the swamp, the weed tea, I also do the same thing. I'll remove the chlorine and chloramine out of it before I do it. It's going to drop that pH. You're not going to have that stinky smell. Throw you some brown sugar in there. That's that carbonado sugar that you hear me talking about. It's not the same as that refined white sugar. Get you some brown sugar, carbonado preferably, and you put that in, mix that in with your weed tea. You're not going to have that stinky smell. That stinky smell is not a good thing. So we're just going to change the way that we view how we can grow our food, and we can grow large fruit the same way that they do in the grocery store. Beautiful large fruit if we just use the right inputs. So let me get down here to the chat again. I keep saying that. What's going on, Miss Shirley OG? Stay in here. Let's see. It's my blueberries a while to ripen from green. Yes, G Mama says it takes blueberries a while to ripen from green. Yeah, and if you have the rabbit eyes actually go from green to a pink, and then to their original color of the blue, which is really not blue. Man, I don't know what I stirred up, but that video got over 200,000 views overnight when I just said blueberries are not blue. It's actually an optical illusion. If you rub off the bloom, the blueberry, I'm not going to say what color it is because I want you guys to come up and tell me what color it is. And we can go through all this light spectrums and all of this stuff here. We can get the educated answers and all that. But at the same time, that's not the question that I was asking. What color is the blueberry? Now we can come up with the scientific thing about, the seven, positions of light and all of this thing. That's not the question. What color is the blueberry? Because it is not blue. It's a simple question. Whether you want to say everybody sees we have a common denominator, there's a physical and then there's a biological presence that we see with light. It's going to be the same no matter who looks at it. So some people are coming in, they're really overthinking the question. What color is the blueberry? That's all I ask. So, I mean, I'm really glad with the engagement. You guys really are in there with it. But I thought that was really funny, man, because some people are coming in and they trying to give the scientific definition behind how color is perceived with the eyes. That's not what I'm asking. What color is the blueberry? That's it. What color is the blueberry? Um, so, what's this? Farm All and Forge. What's up? Good evening. That's my arts. What's going on? Um, G Mama Grove says it's green. It is green at some point, but once it gets the bloom on it, what color is the blueberry? It's not blue. When a ripe blueberry, now we're not talking about the wild blueberries because the wild blueberries, well, I'm not going to tell you. This is what I like to do with my shorts. I like to ask different questions, get lots of good community engagement. And you guys are just lighting it up, man, because I'm having to do my homework on a lot of the stuff that y'all are talking about. And that is how I learn. The questions that you all ask me is how I actually learn. So if I don't know the answer, I'm going to go research it, and then I'll try to make a video and bring that back to you guys and share that with the community. And in terms, there is that thing again, that symbiotic relationship. We are working together for one common goal, and that is to grow. So let's get down here. Mike's Chaotic Garden. Um, Mike said is blurple, blooper, blooper, or whatever that is. Uh, Carl McNair says dark purple. I'm not going to answer that. That's what keeping the chat going, because the if you go over and check out that short that I put up, it's on Instagram and Facebook as well. But it got over 200,000 views in one night, and that's all I asked. Like, what question? The question at the end I asked is the blueberry really blue? I didn't say what color it was. I'm asking, like, what is the blueberry really blue? Because it's not. So, so y'all go down and check that out, man. I just really appreciate. Um, Big MAMSH says dark red. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Could be a combination of colors. Um, James Green says I need some. You need some blueberries. Um, that's my art. Let's see here. Mine are purple, and mine are pink lemonade, and like almost. That's Burner Girl Tactical. She says mine are purple. Okay, I'll take that. Purple. Okay, but it's not blue. I'm not gonna say what color it is, but I'm just gonna tell you they are not blue. Un well, I'm gonna hold that because there is a blueberry that's blue, but not the ones that we grow. Southern high bush, northern high bush. Uh, what is the Vaccinium corbosum, the Vaccinium ashe? They are not blue. The bloom on it are crystals, microscopic crystals that reflect light, that gives you the illusion that they are blue. That's what I'm going to say. They are not blue. I want you to tell me what color they are. So let's see here. Mike B says dark reddish purple. Okay, put it in the chat. Dark reddish purple. Um, let's see here. Burn, Bernita, Bernita. Okay, Bernita. I just planted my first blueberry bush last week. Okay, Bonita. Bonita, what type of blueberry bush did you plant? What grow zone are you in? Probably help you out on growing that. James Green. I need a few varieties of blueberries to plant. Any suggestions? James Green asked, he needs a few blueberries to plant. Any suggestions? Well, the first suggestion I would make is to go over to growingoutthebox.com because we have 20 different varieties of blueberries for sale, and we do ship across state lines. Certain states we cannot ship to, but we carry blueberries on growingoutthebox.com. If somebody can drop the link into the chat over to growingoutthebox.com. If you guys, we got fruit trees, the plums that you saw me out there, we have those on the website. The citrus trees that you saw me showing over there, we have those on the website. We're going to have strawberries. So not my strawberries, but we're going to have strawberries. I got a vendor that I'm working with right now. We're going to have strawberries as well as an additional varieties of rabbit eyes. We're going to have probably close to another 50 different varieties of rabbit eyes. Right now, we're doing more southern high bushes and a few rabbit eyes. I have maybe 3 northern high bushes. I'm going to try to find a vendor that's going to provide more on the northern high bush, but right now I'm struggling to find a vendor that can handle the northern high bush. But pretty much everything that you see out here in my garden, figs also. We're going to have figs coming up. I think it's 10 different varieties of figs that we're going to have on growingoutthebox.com. So none of this is possible. You're going to hear me say this every single time. None of this is possible without you guys. You have really came and supported the channel. Not only have you supported the channel, but you support the store. And I am forever grateful for all that you do for me. And that's why I try to keep bringing this information, maybe bringing the better content. Any suggestion that you guys want to make on different videos that you want to see on something that I'm growing in the garden. I don't know everything, but I try to know as much about what I'm growing as I possibly can. And for those that I don't grow, if you ask me a question, I try to find the answer. And most of the time, if it's something that interests me, I'll start growing it myself so I can learn more about it. Like even with the pepper vine over there, the black pepper vine. I've never grown that before. The plant was sent to me. I had 2 plants sent to me, and just wanted to try it, see what it does. You know, it's a tropical plant. I'm going to see how it does. The Analytic Gardener says, "We appreciate you, Box." I appreciate you guys as well. Um, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner is speaking. Let's see here. Bonita Johnson says, I'll also ask, I also got my first fig tree as a birthday gift, the Chicago Hardy. Okay, that's what's up. Let's see here. Somebody in the chat says, I'm about to plant my first blueberry bushes when I get the cottonseed meal. I'm going to use the mix exactly, and I'm hoping to eat at least one blueberry this year. Well, if you have blueberries on your bush already, you'll have blueberries this year. But if you don't have any blueberries on your bush this year, unless you have a bush that's romantic, and that is only two, I want to say there are only 2 blueberry bushes that I'm aware of that are romantic. And when I say romantic, that means they bloom more than one time in the course of a season. And that is the sweetheart. And I do carry the sweetheart on growingoutthebox.com. The sweetheart will bloom more than one time. So if you didn't get a spring harvest on your sweetheart, there's a good chance if the window is wide enough, you may get a second harvest on the sweetheart. Now, I also have the Perpetua. The Perpetua, I had 2 of them. One of them didn't make it. The Perpetua is a northern high bush or a cross between a northern high bush and a low bush. So it really doesn't like this Georgia heat that we have down here. So I put it up on my deck over there. The Perpetua blooms all year long. Imagine that. A blueberry bush that blooms all year long. Now there's a patent on the Perpetua, so I won't be carrying that, and I won't be propagating any of those anytime soon. So, but if you're looking for a blueberry that blooms all season long, the Perpetua is one. If you want a blueberry that blooms twice a year, the Sweetheart is going to be one. There's also another bush called the Echo, and I am searching high and low trying to find that Echo. So if anybody out there has an Echo and they want to share it with your boy, I mean, we can do some bartering now, and I'll make it very worth your while. I really want that Echo. So if anybody out there watching this live, the replay, the repeat, if you have an Echo and you can send that to growingoutthebox.com, you can go in the live and you can go in the store and pick out a few things and we'll make this make sense because I really do want that Echo. Yeah. So let's get down here. um, Fish Preacher or something like that. I can't even see the name, it's blacked out. Do you put pine bark chips right in the planting hole? I would think that that would rob the plant from nitrogen. Okay, that's a very good question. Do I put pine bark chips in the planting hole of my blueberry bushes? Absolutely yes. Here's the difference. Pine bark mini nuggets, not the entire nugget, because if you put the nugget in there, the whole the bark, yes, it's going to rob nitrogen, and even the mini pine bark nuggets does rob nitrogen. But guess what we do to offset that? And this is again why I say it's not one particular thing; it's the entire system. In order for that to work, you have to do the entire system. The mini pine bark nuggets are offset by the cottonseed meal. The cottonseed meal is like a battery charger, so to speak. The cottonseed meal has a low acidity and it fertilizes over the course of time. So, where the robbing of the nutrients, the robbing of the nitrogen, that, as you would say, is happening, the cottonseed meal refills that in and it offsets it. So it creates a perfect balance. I call it a battery charger. The mix itself is the battery, and it's going to stay in that 4.5 to a 5.5. That's because the peat moss 50% to 25% mini pine bark nuggets, but the pine bark is also being charged by the peat moss. It's a I mean it's amazing how it works, and it's so simple, but if you take one part out of it, the whole thing collapses. The peat moss, and there's two different types of peat moss. Not all peat moss is the same. You have what they call a blonde peat, and then you have what's called a black peat, a white peat, or a black peat. Hey, I didn't make this up. I'm just telling you what it is. One is what they call a H123, H1 through 3. That's the blonde peat. The other is a H7 through 10. That's the dark peat. The H123 is like the immature peat that comes from the top of the bog. So it's not, I'm not going to say it's not as acidic, but it won't hold up as long as the H7 through 10. The H7 through 10, that's the where the controversy comes in at, the H7 through 10. And that just means the H stands for humification. That is how long it's been festering in the soil, how long it's been down in that bog. The H7 through 10 is thousands of years old, sometimes more than that, hundreds of thousands of years old. That's where the controversy comes in at. The H1 through 3 is the young peat that's more sustainable. And this is what the growers of the peat moss kind of put in your mindset when you're purchasing peat moss. The 1 through 3 is like the I think it's called Premier in the green bag, and then there's the black gold. That is what I showed you at Tractor Supply. The black gold is the black gold, and it's black gold for a reason. It's black peat. That's the H7 through 10. If you put that black peat in your garden, you don't have to touch it. You don't have to touch it again. It's going to hold on to that acidity. And if you put it into this mix the way that I'm sharing with you, you're never going to have to fool with that again. I mean, as long as that bush is there. My bushes are 6 years, and I've never had to do anything to lower the acidity. It's been 4.5 to 5.5 the entire time, and that is even with watering it with my municipal water, which is a 7.4. So everybody says if you water with the alkaline water, it's going to raise your pH. That is absolutely correct, unless you are using this mix. This is biology and it's chemistry. All of those things happening at the same time. If you take one part out of it, it's not going to work. So when you guys message me and you saying, "Well, I couldn't find the mini pine bark nuggets, and I put it in anyway, and now my pH is raising," that's what you're going to expect. Well, I didn't put the peat moss in because I didn't want to use peat moss because it's not sustainable. It's not going to happen. You could use elemental sulfur to lower your pH, and I came up with this, and I'm going to show you guys this also because it's really cool. It's like a upside down spinning top. You remember the little spinning tops? If you old as I am, you might know the little spinning tops. I'm trying to come up with a different analogy, but all I could think of is the spinning tops that we used to have when we were kids. If you're in my age range, 50s, probably 40s and stuff like that. But basically, you flip that upside down, and you're going to have a tube running in the center of your soil. Now, why would you do that? Because if you dig a hole, at the same thing, we're going to take that 48-inch perimeter garden bed that I use on top of the soil, and we're going to create that in the soil. Now, what's going to happen is if you put that peat moss and you put that mix in that hole, nature is going to take it. I mean, nature is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to retake, and it's eventually, probably in a year or two, the pH is going to start climbing again. But here is the fix. You drill a hole, 6-inch hole down the center of that, which allows the water to drain down so you don't have your perch water. You don't want to have a perch water table. And I can explain this thing all day long, but you're going to have to see it to understand it. Outside of that 48-inch perimeter that you dug that hole, you're going to have to do a 48, maybe a 12 to 24-inch perimeter to go around that 48-inch perimeter. And that is where you put your elemental sulfur. You don't have to put the elemental sulfur in the mix because the mix is going to sustain itself as long as you create a buffer on the outside of that. Now, again, it's something that I've done at another property that someone else asked me to come over and see if we could figure out how to do it, and it's actually working. It's a little bit of work because you're going to have to dig down 12 inches into your soil. You're going to have to create that perimeter the same way that I have mine raised up, that 48-inch perimeter. Go down 12 inches into your soil. In the center of that, you're going to do a 6-inch depth hole that goes down another 12 inches, and then you're going to fill that with pine bark nuggets. And what that does is that creates an escape route for the water to go through so you don't have a perch water table and you get anaerobic bacteria on the bottom of your bed. But it's something that I kind of played around with, and it's working. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. I want to make sure that it's holding the way that I say it's going to hold before I actually bring it out and share it. But I want to plant a couple of them in my yard the same way. But I'm going to come back down here to the chat. Um, Kim says, so you mean only mini pine bark nuggets work, not regular pine bark nuggets? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you put large mulch into your garden bed, the microbes in your soil, which is what the last commenter was saying, the microbes in your soil are going to start trying to break down those large chunks. And because there's only the surface area on the large side, they're not going to be able to break it down fast enough. And what's going to happen is they're going to take all of their energy into breaking down those large chunks of pine bark. And that's what's going to take away the nutrients in your soil, because while the bacteria should be feeding your blueberry bush, they're not. They're going to be breaking down those chunks. Whereas those smaller chunks, the mini pine bark nuggets, which are an inch, a half an inch to an inch, that's more surface area. More surface area, decomposition 101. The smaller the surface size, the faster decomposition. The difference between how you would put, let's say, wood mulch compared to pine bark, lignin and cellulose. The pine bark is lignin, the wood mulch is cellulose. It breaks down faster. So what's going to happen is the microbes are going to go to what breaks down faster. It's going to what's going to feed them the fastest. And that's the reason why you don't put wood chips in your soil. The pine bark breaks down slower, so it takes longer for it to break down. That's lignin. That's the way that it breaks down in your soil. So the microbes not only focus on breaking down those little smaller particle sizes, the The cottonseed meal, once again, offsets the off balance. The cottonseed meal is like your battery charger. So where your microbes over here working hard to break down the pine bark nuggets, that cottonseed meal is slowly releasing nutrients into your soil over time. So by the time those pine bark nuggets are broken down, now the microbes come back to start feeding your plant again. It's like a recharging system, constant recharge, and the system charges itself. Now, twice a year, I refertilize. So is it late winter, early spring, and late summer, early fall? You recharge the battery. That's what I call it. You recharge the battery. Now, it's 8 o'clock, so respecting Miss Linda's time, I'm going to get up off of here. So I really appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. If you're not um, following the New Orleans Gardener, Miss Linda, that's Tnog, TNOG 511. Y'all go over there and just put growing out the box in the chat. Just go over to Miss Linda and put growing out the box in the chat. Let her know that I sent you guys over there. We got 175 people in here right now. Let's go over to Miss Linda, T-Nog, the New Orleans Gardener, and show her some love. But I'm going to get out of here because I want to respect her space. Until the next time, peace.